I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. Singin' in the Rain, released in 1952 and is directed by Gene Kelly and Stanley Donen, who are also behind the films of On the Town and It's Always Fair Weather. And this film is also starring Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor, Debbie Reynolds, Gene Hagen, Millard Mitchell, and Sid Charis. And the reason why we're talking about Singin' in the Rain today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel, Dr. Camp. Once again, you send over a recommendation. This time, probably one of the greatest musical films ever made, and it's just a lovely movie that if you watch nowadays, it's just a love letter to old-time Hollywood and just how joyous and happy the idea of going to the movies and making it big on the big screen really was back then. So thank you very much, Dr. Camp, for the recommendation. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Don Lockwood is a famous silent film actor who has had a long upward trajectory career in Hollywood. But suddenly, everything in the movie business is about to change, as the implementation of audio is seen in films, so Lockwood needs to change his acting ability so that he not only physically performs on screen, but you can also hear his voice as well. But the issue of this situation is that the starlet who he's always in films with, she has an annoying voice, and the producers of the movies don't want people to hear her voice and just how terrible the audio quality is. So luckily Don Lockwood falls in love with a Broadway folly dancer who comes in and she dances her little heart out and impresses everyone, and they use her voice to cover the starlet's voice. Yeah, this is old-time Hollywood, baby! A movie that I didn't grow up with, but I did see it when I was in grad school, and thank God, because it is just an amazing, heartfelt, puts a smile on your face type movie musical that, if you sit back and think about it, is very silly and very corny, but you know what? You gotta love that every once in a while. Our hero falls madly in love with this folly dancer, and after saying goodnight to her, it's downpouring outside, and he decides to put away his umbrella because he doesn't have a care in the world. It could be raining, it could be storming, it doesn't matter. He's in love, so in his mind, he is dry as bread. The best metaphor I could come up with on the spot. Oh well. Not everyone can write these things. You just gotta go with it, with your gut, and I went with it there, so yeah. But it is one of the most iconic movie scenes of all time, is Gene Kelly dancing in the rain. And yes, they had a sense of what he was doing, but really on this take, it's all improvised. It's all what Gene Kelly was feeling in the moment at that time, which just makes it that much more fantastic because it's iconic. You also have several other great musical numbers in here. Make 'Em Laugh and Moses Supposes His Toes Are Roses. Even the song Good Morning to You, which every corporate manager uses in their Teams chat every early morning, especially on Mondays, to help brighten the mood and cheer on the troops early on in the morning, and it doesn't annoy the living shit out of me. Now, when it comes to these musical numbers, the dancing, like I said already, was Singin' in the Rain, but all the other dancing numbers too, the Moses Supposes, Good Morning, Gene Kelly, he just makes it seem like it's effortless to him. He's not breaking a sweat. He has a smile on his face, actually a little grin every once in a while, like he knows exactly what he's doing. If you look at the other two performers on screen, you can see it in their face about how scared they are just to mess up and they have to redo the shot again. I did hear that Gene Kelly was exceptionally awful to Debbie Reynolds, like really hard on her, like you have to smile a certain way, you have to hit every single position correct because this is the 1950s, and if you're a woman and you mess up, you're gone, baby. Luckily, things have kind of improved over the last couple of decades, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. But I do recall Debbie Reynolds in several interviews talking about it wasn't the best experience for her on set. Nothing like inappropriate, it was just really hard. They were really hard on her because she was the ingenue of the movie and she had to be perfect. But I think Debbie Reynolds is delightful. She is so charming in here. A bit over the top, but I think that's only because she was just giving as much as she can in every single take. That way Gene Kelly was happy. Not a lot of subtlety with her performance. She is up here the majority of the time. All the lines that she's delivering, basically yelling, but you know what, she's still fun. And Donald O'Connor, he's definitely my favorite part of this movie, other than the whole Singin' in the Rain scene. He's hilarious. He's the comedic relief. He's the one that makes a career based on laughter and pratfalls, not on his leading manlyish looks. All three of the performances are great. Now, when it comes to the story here, it's a bit simple. And actually, it's a little confusing because it's a talkie movie about silent film actors who are worried about talkie movies becoming a thing. But here it is, it's already a talkie movie, and right away, in the beginning, these actors are singing and dancing, and it seems like they're making quite the living singing and dancing on screen, or in their own private lives, but still doing their musical numbers, because it's a musical. But then the characters in the movie are trying to figure out how to make this, what was a silent movie and now a talkie movie, better, because they don't know how to do the sound audio and everything. And if it's your first time watching this movie, like, I remember my first time, I'm sitting there thinking, you already sing and dance. Why do you think you're not that great of an actor? You dance, you tap dance like a motherfucker. And yeah, you can sing. It's not the greatest voice, Gene Kelly, but you can carry a tune well. Why are you struggling to figure out how to take your music and dancing abilities and put it into this movie? Like, how is that an issue? Why is this an issue? Because it's a musical, and people in this world are not supposed to know that these people can sing and dance. But we, the audience, know that they can because they've been doing it for half the movie already. It's a very layered film, you know, it's breaking the fourth wall a lot. It's very meta that way. But Singing in the Rain is an absolute classic, and really it's a movie that can't do anything else but put a smile on your face. Every time I watch it or I watch scenes from this movie, I'm smiling because it just makes me happy. It makes me happy knowing that, yes, there could be a simpler life out there where everything works out and everything is so hunky-dory and everyone comes up with ideas and the producers say, oh my god, that's brilliant. Yes, we'll go with that. Whereas in real life, you bring an idea to a manager or a producer and then they're like, okay, that's great, but give me 10 more ideas because I want to make sure that this one is the best one. So keep going, go, go! And it's just really hard. Life is really hard, and I like this movie because it makes me believe that life is actually not as hard as it should be. I'm gonna give Singin' in the Rain 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Singin' in the Rain, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.